Another thing I want to put in here is I want a second brewer kind of in the area because the brewers they're going to help with the unhappiness caused by just the lack of, well, not by the mines, you know, which can cause a lot of unhappiness. I might have like a little space here and just kind of try to make it flush, like, oh no, we lost. Childbirth is the worst because you lose 2 instead of 1. It's a little bit inefficient. I don't know. It kind of, sort of, is okay. Because lining up the tailor and the other stuff is kind of a nightmare. And I guess we can try to line it up. Let's do that. Let's get a. Where are? Oh gosh, I'm having a little brain fart. Resource production. Okay, let's get a blacksmith going, kind of in proximity. Like, I mean, I could do that and just accept that there's gonna be a little bit of a weirdness going on with it. Otherwise, let's see. If I rotate, the blacksmith does fit in there. Let's do that. And how to fit that out? Well, let's see. How big is a tavern? We're gonna want one anyway. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that completes this little square I was thinking of doing. So, well, it comes in one, but I'm okay with it. I'm just gonna say whatever. We'll do extra road in there. It's not, you know, you're gonna have some wasted space, but yeah, it's getting gnarly with the tools, and the stone and the iron. Everything's gone terrible. Not another childbirth. Oh, come on. That's just punishing us. Oh, good lord. Okay. Our food is gone. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, first thing first. We have 24 fishermen. Let's get that going. Shoot, I got to talking and wasn't, Okay, more hunters, good. Was not watching the food well enough. Let's see. 24 gathers. We might see some starvation very soon. That's way too low. What's our output on food? Used. Wow, we're using like almost 2,000 more than we're making. What happened? That's that surprised me. I think we just had a lot of kids getting born, and they ate up all our food. Okay, so how can we fix this? We're going to need to put in. Oh, I have an idea. I have an idea. We're gonna overload anything that produces food because at this point we kind of have to, and we have enough laborers to spare. So if you go here, you see it says 4 out of 4, and it's maxed out. That's as much as you can put into there. But if you go to like the hunter, see, you can actually boost this up to 4. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go around to all these little hunters and boost them up to 4. I'm going to assign more people to hunting. I believe gatherers you can boost up as well. No, they're maxed out. We'll max out the hunters at any rate. We have a hunting lodge here. So I'll give us a little bit more food, but is this maxed out? Yeah. I think the only thing that doesn't automatically fill out to 4 are the hunters, and that's because they're not as efficient as other sources of food. It's kind of like the game holding your hand on it, just a little bit. So max those out. That's a good step 1. Did I do that with all the hunting lodges? So 3 or 3, nope, 3 or 4. I think that is all of them. Hunting cabin there, there. And I'm also making sure that I have hunting cabins at every single node. There. And there. So, okay. This is getting built. This should start producing some fish. Let's get those extra hunters working. That should help a bit. I need another resource node. That was really bad of me. That when you're at 400, that's gonna be gone in almost an instant, and we're gonna really suffer for that. Shoot. Okay, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cancel them collecting stuff from here, and then I'm going to put in another forest node because it should fit fairly well there. So, and the reason why I have to cancel is if you don't, they won't let you build where they have an order placed. No, I don't want to remove resources. I want cancel removal. Here we go. So I'm just gonna like cancel all that, and we'll definitely send some laborers down here to clean all that up once everything's built. But that'll just make building easier. So how do we want this road? I think this road should go like here and then down. So let's set that up. Well, first Forester Lodge. Let's put that in. Yeah, see, it fits. It's snug, but it does. It loses a little bit to the river and the mountain, but not so much that it's the end of the universe. I actually kind of want to rotate it a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, that should be good. That way it's kind of facing this direction, and I'm going to have it come in and kind of go up like that. Also, I'm looking at here. This might be a good spot for another fishing node, and all considering, like, if we don't get... Like, at this point, even less than ideal spots are worth exploiting if it means that we have more people on food, so... yeah, see, because you get the creek, and that does contribute a bit to the overall fishing output, so... Let's go ahead and get that all situated. Kind of awkward placement for this. Can I rotate it a bit? They'll have to go there. That's okay, ish. Let's get the roads built though. Okay, then, and obviously we're gonna need some more vendors as well. So, where is the hunting lodge? Where did I put you? Okay. There, but now I forget, was it down here? I think it was up here was the... Yeah. And then... Well, no, we don't want that exactly. It's so hard to see the roads before they actually get put in. It's something that I wish was a little bit more obvious, but... And then kind of over like that. That should be good. Okay, so hunting cabin. Let's pin this guy. Because I want to get a woodcutter lodge on the edge of it, so we'll put him in here. And yeah, if you look at our firewood's kind of low for our massive population. So another thing that I want to get more of. I just need more of everything, like honestly, especially food. Ooh. That was bad. I don't know, like it's late at night. I've done like a lot of recording today because I want to start getting more content out. I did like a really epic run in with Warlock 2. So that'll be a new series you guys can enjoy. I also have I did like I got a couple Banished ones before this. And I'm even going to try to get some Ark Survival Evolved after I do a little bit more Banished. So we'll see how it goes. I expect, I think I can manage like 3 series a week, but it might be like on again, off again for some of them. So it's something to keep in mind. So we got the house, woodcutter set. Now let's get hunting, gathering, the whole shebang because we are desperate for those. Very desperate for food now. I think we're gonna get some starvation, and it's really hard to recover from starvation when you are doing just hunting and gathering. It's not a good situation at all to be in. So I'm a little bit freaked out, and unfortunately that was just because I'll admit I'm a little bit sleepy. It's hard to talk for hours on end. So Oh, let's put the stockpile in here next to the forest guy. A little 5x5 ought to do it. And then we need, again, more homes. And it's kind of, we're stuck in a little bit of a loop here because, yeah, we need more homes for the workers to be more efficient. But as we add them, it means we're getting more babies, which means we need more food. You see how it goes, and it just spirals out of control. My main hope is it's almost a race at this point, but we're losing because we're losing so much food. I was kind of hoping to like kind of store up a lot and then push for the 300, get the achievements, and then people can starve to death because we're switching to farming anyway. But no, let's see what we can manage with just the fishing lodges and all that. I'm gonna need some fishing houses as well. It's kind of a shame you can't like distribute birth control out to people. Just be like, no kids for 5 years. Just let the food supply build up a bit, you greedy snobs. But anyway, let's see here. So we got storage, gathering. Let's get some hunting. And honestly, I should maybe consider an herbalist, but I'm not going to do it at this point. Because it's food we're going after. I'm tempted to even like put in like two or three more like nodes queued up for construction, but I don't know. If we're already at 430 and we're eating way more than we consume in any given moment, this is bad. We're gonna have food shortage pretty quickly, especially with the extra homes going in, because unfortunately what tends to happen is when you build a new house, they'll go to the market, grab any available food, and they go dump in the house. So it's rough, but we need the houses too. I'm almost tempted to like pause these houses actually, or I'm not gonna pause those. I'm gonna pause the houses over here, and if we don't do that, I think that we're gonna have some trouble with food, because what will happen is they'll get those houses built, and then they'll want to dump in a ton of food where they are, and it's a bad idea. And we also need, like, see, we don't need the tailor. Well, we do need the tailor. What am I saying? Yeah. So, yeah, we're basically falling behind on a lot of essential resources, and we'll probably have some starving times coming up. Now, we're established enough that if we do kind of, like, lose some population, I feel like what will happen is essentially we'll starve and starve and starve until we reach a new equilibrium. Now, if you had 15 population and we're starving, that's probably game over. But when you nearly have, we have over 200. If we do have some starving, I think that we'll make it through. It's a shame though, because typically what will happen, like we're gonna lose like 70 people. I'm gonna call it right now. I think we're in for a world hurt, because I don't see the extra food resources. Maybe the extra hunters will fix the situation a bit, but I don't think they will. So I'm just gonna, take my lumps, let it run at times 10. Another reason for the food crisis is lack of tools. I bet a lot of our gatherers and hunters and stuff don't have enough tools. So hopefully if we can get caught up on those, I see that we're getting some iron stored. Maybe. See, it goes up and down, but every time it goes down, it's going further and further down. Let's watch our production a bit. Yeah, we're using like about twice the amount. We're catching up. Hunters might be helping a bit, but we're kind of sort of holding steady, but it's going to collapse unless this gap gets closed, and it's closing, but not fast enough. Especially with all these extra babies being born. Stupid babies, they don't know how to get food. But I'm being kind of mean to the babies. We need them. They're our future, but man, oh man. Right now we're suffering because we have generally like 65 children is a lot when you don't have farms. I like to aim for 70 when I have farms. When you don't, it can be a problem. Let's see, have any extra... Let me just keep up with these buildings, because once they get built, I want to immediately put people into them. Okay, not yet, but... I don't know, they're getting there. It's going to be tight. We might manage with the extra hunters, but if we don't get the tools built... Well, what else is holding back our tools? Let's see here. Actually, what am I doing? Let's stop work here. That'll add extra berries. Just until the food crisis is averted, because you want this to be like 10,000, not 500. So obviously we need to play catch up a bit. So you got logs. It's iron. It's iron that they need. It's iron that they want, and it's iron that they just aren't getting. So yeah, I'm hopeful with all the extra laborers running around and kind of chewing up these resources. Ooh, outbreak of mumps. Okay, so fortunately we have a hospital with a physician, but you see here, yeah, you start to get diseases when you introduce the foreigners. You know, Zachariah, what a foreign name. Probably came from some exotic desert. I don't know, I'm making a dumb joke, but you see, he's sick. His health is super bad, and fortunately, he was close to the doctor, so he's gonna visit. He'll get cured. He'll be fine, and we will no longer have an outbreak of the mumps. But if he was far away from here, or a really bad one is if he had a school with a student, because students they seem to prioritize going to school over getting treated. And they infect like every other student. It's ridiculous. So it's like you get these massive outbreaks in schools. So you generally want to put your school relatively close to your hospital. Fortunately, though, he was right next to the hospital. He just walked over there. He'll be treated. No big deal. We're fine. Just kind of looking around. Let's see. Reserve. Yeah, I know the iron's low, and the clothes as well. But if we don't get this iron fixed, we're in a lot of hurt. I'd also like to kind of get the cemetery built sooner rather than later, because this guy's almost filled up. He's got room for one more. I'm gonna start prioritizing the iron collection, because if we don't get iron in and fast, the tool crisis is just it'll ruin us. It'll like really be an issue. So hopefully that will get resolved sooner rather than later. Other than that, I mean, we are like kind of sort of need, like, I expect this won't be as much of an issue once we get a market in here. It's kind of catch-22, right? I need the market to help these houses and kind of make it more efficient, but I can't build the market until I have extra iron, but I can't build that. You know, it's like, I just need more of everything, especially stone. We're on 1 times because of the mumps outbreak, but the mumps is spreading. How did that happen? Okay. It's really spreading. Oh dear. We might need another hospital if this doesn't get cured fast. Because mumps will people will die from it, you know, it's kind of a serious situation. And they can only treat like 1 or 2 at a time. Yeah, let's pay attention to this for a minute, see if they stop spreading it. Yeah, they're just getting it everywhere. They're just spreading their disease, which is bad. We might have an epidemic on our hands. I'd put in a hospital, but I'm really hurting for stone, and they're expensive for stone. I'm just kind of hoping that we treat more people than get spread, and it's not working out. Well, back down to 4. Maybe it'll work out. 3. Okay, good. No deaths from mumps yet, and hopefully it's kind of like there's a background level of it now, and I don't know. I don't know. We could be in desperate times. So yeah, we got a little bump in food by closing the tavern, but we also took some happiness issues. So it's just not ideal. Not much we can do about though. I need the food more than I need the happiness. So okay, that's old age. That means this is not filled up yet. Okay, but not a mump's death yet. I feel like that. It seems like we're slow but surely fighting back the disease. You know, it was definitely a serious problem. Like it could have been a crisis, but I think we're gonna get through it without losing anybody and without spreading it to other folks. So, you know, huzzah, huzzah. Our food situation is still not ideal. Jeez. And we're low on firewood. I don't understand the low on firewood business, to be honest. We're making a ton of logs. They're just getting chewed up immediately. It's probably because I have so many houses that aren't, you know, these homes, they need to be wooden. I mean, stone. If they were stone houses, we'd be in better shape. So, a ton of laborers. Our food is climbing a bit, and we're getting work done. Yeah, it's kind of a matter of sort of observing and keeping track of it. I'm hopeful though, like we'll get this in and avoid any starvation. And the mumps outbreak is finished, so that's good. That's really good. Still hurting for stone even. It's getting harder and harder to actually see. They're walking out there. They hit it once or twice. Then they decide they have to go home because it's such a long distance. Well, they're clearing. We definitely have a bunch of laborers, so hopefully these guys will. We'll be able to leverage our labor pool to scoop up some of these additional resources and fix the tool issue. It does look like tools are getting better, and the iron's starting to climb. So, yeah, getting that iron was good. We also need to get some stone, though. I would love these to get finished, so I can convert those laborers into guaranteed iron supplies. I should probably check on my home situation. I mean, I'm still really nervous about food. I mean, it's odd because it says that we are using more than we are producing. What was last year like? Last year we actually were ahead. Oh, let's do over 1 year. So, no, we were behind last year. I'm not sure why it's hovering like this, and I'm a little bit actually kind of confused. We should have seen some starvation. Like all that should get chewed up. I think we're making, because there's so many gatherers and so much you know, so many people are dedicated to just getting food, that even though we're eating more food than we're making, oh no, here we go. Yeah, it's gonna happen. That's the thing, like, because these gatherers, they do make a good amount of food, and it might just barely be enough. See, it refilled it a little bit. Just a bit. If we can get like more of a food source. I have so many laborers. This is a lot. No, see, yeah, we're getting near the point where we're going to have issues. Gosh. Are they collecting the stone? Like, that's what we need. If we get the stone, we can build more gathering huts and maybe start leveling out our food situation. I don't know though. I wonder how close we are to 300 and if we can just like push it before starvation hits us. Oh gosh, we are close. It's a shame. Yeah, it's gonna be really sad because kind of what I'm predicting is we're gonna maybe get to like 260 and then everybody's gonna be starving. and we'll lose like 90 to 100 people, and have to do it all over again. It's just we hit too many resources were needed at once, and the thing that really hurt us though was the tools. It's sorted now, but you know it was a real problem for a long time, and that cut out a ton of our food production just because we had inefficient workers. You see now we're using it more, but that's because we've had so many children. Yeah, I think we're gonna get some starvation. It's only a matter of time. We are 3 hungry people, and it looks like their house is. Fortunately, it looks like elderly people are going to get taken out, which is, it's kind of a mean thing to say, but they're near the end of their usefulness. But if you start having kids starving, or gathers and stuff, it's gonna be a problem. I'm really hoping we can fix it, but we might as well just let it ride at this point. I've done everything I can conceivably do, I think. So it's kind of a matter of getting this and fishing built. Yeah, there it goes. Yeah, and that is gonna get it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Yeah, there's gonna be another one here. Hopefully it won't be too bad, but I mean, there's not much else I can do until I sort out the stone problem. Let's see. And at least we got a little bit. Yeah, we still need more stone. Starvation. It's mostly children starving, and this is kind of a mean thing to say, but they're the ones that we need to go out because they can't make food, or they can't conceivably get us more food. So it's mean. I hate the idea of kids starving, but I mean, there's not much else I can do at this point until this gets built. It's gonna be a little bit of a nightmare. Yeah, we're gonna lose like 70, 80 people. It'll even out. Enough people will starve that it'll basically be like, oh well, now there's so few people that we don't have such a demand on food, and it's not like the whole civilization's going to die out, but it's gonna be painful. We're gonna lose quite a few. Yeah, see, it's. Make sure we have enough vendors. Yeah, we got all our vendors going. Ouch. And fortunately, we did have a high labor pool to kind of fill in the jobs as this happens. 4 stone short. It'd be nice to get that built for all these starvation deaths. It's really sad. Like, so many people are starving to death that it's kind of like in when the bubonic plague went through Europe. They're just dumping the corpses into the river. They're leaving them outside. There's no place to even bury people. Ouch. This is man. Honestly, I know exactly why it happened. We hit 2. Well, essentially, we ran out of tools, and without tools, our efficiency of our gatherers kind of started to drop. So we're getting less and less food each year because the tools were all destroyed and damaged. But on top of that, we ran out of extra stone for building, and as a result, we weren't able to kind of outpace the starvation and build up buildings that would have helped with it. So, yeah, it sucks, but yeah, sometimes you just end up having to take a hit in this game. It'll definitely bloody your nose, and there's not much you can do about it. Hopefully, we'll start to even out a little bit. See, we still hovering about 13, 14 starvation deaths. I'm hoping that I'm actually going to crank down the builders even, because we're going to have even more starvation happening. And we need those laborers available to fill in jobs. I don't want to have a situation where people who should be assigned to, say, hunting or fishing or something, all die off, and then you can't. Man, this is a brutal one. I've hit some bad ones, but this is really bad starvation. But you see, it looks like we are getting back to a more sustainable point. That was brutal though. That was really brutal. Um, yeah. So, ouch. um, oh, this never even got complete. That would have filled up complete with graves if the builders were able to finish it, but they weren't. I kind of want them to. This is more of a priority anyway, but. Yeah, now we're even getting low on available labors to fill jobs. Wow, this is like the worst starvation I've had in the game. We're probably going to have to like close one of the nodes. Just for lack of people to work them. Let's do that, you know? Because we're gonna get a couple more starvation deaths. So what I'll do is I'm gonna not plant, not cut. Yeah, I'm turning off work at some of the forester lodges. Just to fill in our labor pool because I feel like, well, we're not doing all that well with stone, but we're doing well enough that, like, this one we can especially close because it's just planting, and they're done planting for now. So now just, like, let's see, woodcutter. No, it's forester. That'll kind of pad out our labor pool, because what I don't want to happen, I don't want, like, the fishermen or the gatherers, like, I don't want those jobs to go unfilled, because that'll, like, even exacerbate this even more. Goodness, it's bad. This is bad, guys. I'm gonna turn this one off too. Honestly, like, I don't like doing it because then we'll have a firewood problem eventually, but if we don't, it's going to just kind of really, it's gonna hurt in multiple ways. It'll prevent us from having labor pool to go out and pick up all this stuff, which is what we need to get the next this gatherers node built. It'll also actually this needs to get built, so let's prioritize it. I should have done that a while ago. Prioritize that and you know, the homes and whatever, but let's get all the fishing and prioritize too. Try to get those built. I'm gonna assign just like 4 builders, see how that goes. Let's check how much we've lost already. Any nomads? No. We don't want nomads right now, not when we're starving. But let's check our. Yeah, it's a linear drop. It's not exponential yet, but you know, you can't sustain that for that long. Eventually, it's going to crash. So let's see. Let's look at time range over last 100 years. Yeah, it's looking a little bit more like, oh, we had some exponential growth for a while there too, but then we reached this peak that just boom. That's a shame. Now I'm a little worried that we won't be able to reach our it's only year 20, but I mean, to reach 300 after taking like that big dive, it's gonna be tricky. My hope is that we kind of resolve this fast and then can move on with our lives, but yeah, we're down to 185 from we've lost about 100. That's gnarly, and we're gonna lose more. We'll probably lose like another 40. So that's really we're basically losing like 4 times the amount of nomads we've accepted. So, ouch. But fortunately, when it does drop down all the way, it will even out. I know it looks pretty desperate. It looks like we're heading towards extinction, but it's simply not the case. It does resolve itself. Really, you'll only starve to death if you're within like 15 to 20 people and you start getting starvation. But basically, we have enough of a labor pool. Yeah, look, it's just chewing up it. Ouch. We should, though, if I want to check one other thing. So production, food. Yeah, now see we're producing more than we're using, but we don't have any stored. So it's going to like keep falling while these people die, but then we'll start being able to save up. So it is a lot of deaths, though. It's ouch. That's really bad, actually. We're gonna get even more. I'm gonna have to close like almost all my forester lodges, I think. Not ideal. I'll leave that one open, and I'll leave this one. Actually, let's reopen this one. But then we're gonna close the ones that are a little further out. So no cutting, no planting, and we'll definitely have to go and fix that. It's a stopgap measure that, essentially what I'm telling them to do is, ignore any. Oh, it's already open because I had pinned for some reason. Okay. Ignore everything not related to food because that's what we're really desperate for. That's what we need the most of. So, yeah. How are these doing, like, production-wise? Yeah, and see, they're not producing as much fish as I had hoped for, actually. This one is. That one's doing quite well. How about this one? So, yeah, that's okay. I mean, you generally 500's a little less than what you hope to see. You kind of want it to be between 800 to 1,000. This one should be our highest. Let's see how it's doing. What? Why? That's wrong. Okay, so interesting. I almost wonder. I wonder if lakes that aren't connected to the main river just stink for fishing, and that might be the case actually. Because I expected this to be our highest production, and it looks like our lowest. It's only making 300. That's terrible. I mean, this one's making way more than that. Yeah, I need to look that up. It might be the case where if the lake isn't connected to the river, it makes less fish. In fact, I think I remember reading something to that effect. Which is a shame, because honestly, I might end up closing this. It doesn't make sense to put 4 good workers after crap production. So we'll have to keep an eye on it. Maybe there's just something weird going on. Like, oh, let's look at paving. Actually, that could be the problem. Okay, paving. Yeah, that's the issue. All these guys, look how far they have to go. That might even be why they're starving to death. Yeah, it's paving. You want it to be really tight paving, and it isn't. Why isn't it? So 1 fisherman in there, no one living in there. Okay. Eventually that should sort out. But I think what happened was it takes some time to sort out. So that's why that is not producing as much. At least I hope. We'll see. And if that could pick up a bit, that would really help us too. So yeah, you see though, less starvation deaths are happening, but there's gonna be a couple more. Oh, let's drop the number of foresters down even further. I'm just trying to avoid having a situation where we don't have people working on food production because we don't have enough labor available to fill all the people dying. It's kind of gruesome, but yeah. See, it's starting. We're pulling out of the crisis. We only have 6 starvation people left, and there might be a couple more, but I think we're starting to pull out of it. Honestly, I'm going down to 1 builder. I could probably close the woodcutter even, because now our demand for firewood is going to be less. But I'll leave it going. Get a little build up, I suppose. Yeah, we're still looking like there'll be a couple more starvation deaths, but all told, it hurt. It hurt quite bad, actually. And it might compromise us from getting an achievement or 2, which sucks. But yeah, it just kind of came down to it. Honestly, it was the tools. Once we were flirting with the edge of of falling to starvation, and then we lost the tools. And once they didn't have the tools, like that edge became what killed them. So I'm not sure. Like honestly, I think we'll have a couple more starvation deaths probably because this place is still hungry. But I think that we're gonna recover a little bit slowly from it. But once we get all this built out and we actually have extra gathers, I think that we'll actually have enough food to grow back beyond 300. But I'm tempted to add in even like an extra forest node or two, just to cover our base, because that was not a good. Yeah, a little bit. There's gonna be a little bit more just from like over here. Unfortunate. At least we got all the stone for our mines, so as we start to recover, I can put some in there, and we won't really bump into the tool problem. And we'll get that built too, which is handy. I'm gonna add a couple more builders, and you see, yeah, we're hurting for firewood and all that, but I should probably reactivate a couple foresters. But I'm waiting for this to be completely finished, and it hasn't quite run its course, so. But I think we're starting to bounce a little bit out. Yeah, it pretty gnarly, pretty nar-nar. And you see, even now we're not producing much food compared to what we're using, so I think we just need more forest nodes, which there's a point where you just can't get like more food out of the land by building extra forest nodes. So I don't know. It looks like we got a mine built, but now I don't have any laborers, so I'm hoping that this starts to really stack up and we just get more. The other thing is getting a quarry going would be nice because that's unfortunate. Yeah, that's one of the ram deaths you can get, and it's like, oh, let's pile that on top of losing all these people to starvation. Oy. Well, that was a painful episode. That hurt. That was difficult to see, but as you can tell, and we're almost through the starving times. Food will start to pick back up again. Now, why are you hungry? I guess they are able to get to. Now, I hope that you can. If you starve to death, that'd be kind of unfortunate. Okay, so they're picking up some food and they're taking it back to their house. They're gonna put it in their house. Now this could be like the March of Death, basically, where they have to go too far to pick up food, and then when they get the food. I admit, he ate. That's good. We got people dying of old age, which, that we're full. So I hope the graveyard gets built fairly soon. We got a lot of construction queue though, so it's honestly at this point just letting it run. But I'm gonna call an episode there. It was painful. It wasn't nice. It's what happens. This can be a game that stuff gets out of control very quickly, and you kind of have to just adapt and move on. So I think we'll get an extra forest node going. We'll start to rebuild our population up a bit, and we might have a pretty expedient recovery. I think. Honestly, I need to get more food though. So there are ideas I have, like maybe fitting in some more fishing holes if we can find a spot. Like maybe even there if that's not ideal or whatever, but getting some more fishing spots in, like maybe even down here. That actually be a pretty good spot. It's kind of far. I'm gonna have to build some bridges, but it might be worth doing. And getting extra forest nodes. I think we can manage to avoid starvation in the future, but it was pretty tight. Obviously, oh, another childbirth. Come on, that's no good. Obviously, that hurt though. So anyway, sorry. Well, it's part of the game. It's one of the things you go through occasionally. So I hate to see it. It really makes you feel like a failure of a leader when everything starts to collapse like that. But yeah, we just grew a little bit too fast. We had a little bit too many mouths to feed, and honestly, I got to talking too much. And if I had seen it going down when it was at 1,000, we could have avoided that scenario entirely. It's a lot of stuff kind of compounded, but we're going back up in tools. It looks like. Yeah, we're doing okay. We're doing okay. So, anyway, you guys have a good one, and I'll definitely, I'll fix this. It's not the end of the universe. I'm a little bit worried we might not be able to get some of the achievements, but maybe I'm wrong. We still have a pretty solid start, so even though we had a hiccup. Anyway, yeah, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Feel free to discuss what happened. If you had any ideas for how to avoid these sort of things, anything of that nature, it's always good to hear. So, you all have a good one. Bye.